Today we're going to look at the top 10 supporting actors who stole the show from the film's star. Welcome to another program. Here are the top 10 actors who stole the movie from the film's star. Robin Williams in Dead Again. Dead Again is the story of a private eye named Mike Church, Kenneth Branagh, who attempts to help amnesia-afflicted Grace, played by Emma Thompson. She's been having visions of a past life, which involve having been slain by her husband. Early on, Mike and Grace seek guidance from a disgraced psychiatrist named Dr. Cozy Carlyle, who now works as a stock boy in a grocery store. He advises Grace to continue hypnosis, as doing so could reveal the trauma that has caused her memory loss. Dr. Carlyle was played by none other than Robin Williams. If seeing the popular comedian turn up in a paranormal thriller was shocking, it was intended to be. Because of the guidance he dispenses, the scene with Carlyle essentially paves the way for everything that happens during the rest of the movie. Branagh, who also directed, needed someone to make sure the audience was sitting up and paying attention. Williams certainly did that, bringing a Peter Lorre-esque vibe to the character. Kiefer Sutherland in Phone Booth.
The story of Phone Booth is literally a phone rings and a voice says,
"If you hang up, I will kill you."
Cast as the villain, Kiefer Sutherland's likeness did not appear in the original posters. His face wasn't seen in the film's advertising until film was released on video, when it was put on the cover. Screenwriter Larry Cohen originally pitched the concept of a film that takes place entirely within a phone booth to Alfred Hitchcock in the 1960s. Hitchcock liked the idea, but he and Cohen were unable to figure out a plot reason for keeping the film confined to a booth. Once the idea of a sniper came to Cohen in the late 1990s, he was able to write the script in under a month. The phone actually worked, and there was someone on the other line talking to Colin Farrell speaking as the caller, but Kiefer Sutherland's voice was added in during post-production.
Glad you're still alive, Beverly, you silly f***ing girly wanker. God.
Jason Statham in Spy. The fact that Jason Statham is in Spy wasn't a secret. However, what his role is in the movie was never told properly. Statham's character was so funny that people were in literal disbelief. He easily stole the show and had a role far more than just a cameo. As for why he agreed to play second banana rather than headlining his own movie, he stated, "Comedy is not my first go-to sort of genre. I've never really had the opportunity to get involved with anything like this. Well, I have, but a lot of the scripts, well, they ain't that good." So when you get something from writer-director Paul Feig, the game changes slightly.
I've got a feeling about this guy.
Well, I've got a feeling you're about to f*** things up.
Gary Oldman in Hannibal.
Mason, would you like a papa?
And I said, would I? Wow. Once that kicked in, I was flying.
Try peeling off your face.
I was feeding it to the dogs. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
There are many gruesome elements in Hannibal, but one of the biggest is the face of the villain. Or, should we say, the lack of a face? Mason Verger is the only surviving target of the notorious psychopath Hannibal Lecter. Although Verger survived, the encounter had left his face horribly disfigured, as well as paralyzed. As a result, he's out for revenge. When we finally get a look at Verger, it's difficult to tell who's playing him. Buried under that makeup is none other than Gary Oldman. While he may not be entirely recognizable, the actor's trademark intensity, not to mention his penchant for playing distinctly unusual characters, is right there. In his hands, this bitter man is absolutely chilling. When asked by IGN why he chose to go uncredited, Oldman explained, "We thought that as I'm unofficially the man of many faces, you know, of Lee Harvey Oswald, Dracula, and Sid Vicious, and Beethoven, we thought that I would be. I'm playing the man with no face. So we just had a bit of fun with it. We thought it would be great. The man with no face and no name, and sort of do it anonymously." Robert De Niro in American Hustle. American Hustle boasted about bringing together 4 major stars: Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence, Christian Bale, and Amy Adams. There was, however, a 5th big star whose brief appearance in the film was kept on the down low. Robert De Niro plays Victor Talijo, a mobster who knows how to speak Arabic. Of course, the actor had very successfully played wise guys before, but this part was different. According to director David O. Russell, he loved the fact that this man spoke Arabic, which happens to be one of the true things in the story. Truth is crazier than fiction. but there was a mobster who spoke Arabic. Was based on a collection of gangsters. He was really into meticulously constructing this guy. He wanted to do something he'd never done before. Keeping DeNiro's role a secret preserved the ability for viewers to organically see him take a familiar type of character and approach it in a whole new way. Bill Murray in Kingpin.
Keep 'em coming, sweets. I got a long drive. Do me a favor, will you? Would you mind washing off that perfume before you come back to our table?
Murray toplined a string of major hits in the early 90s, including Groundhog Day and What About Bob? It was therefore surprising when he took a small role in Kingpin, a 1996 bowling comedy directed by Peter and Bobby Farrelly of Dumb and Dumber fame. He plays Ernie McCracken, a pro bowler who causes main character Roy Munson, played by Woody Harrelson, to lose a hand in a hustle gone bad. Murray was mentioned in advertising yet not highlighted, largely because the bulk of Kingpin is about Munson and an Amish prodigy played by Randy Quaid, that he mentors. After the first few minutes, Murray's character disappears, only to re-emerge in the last act, when Munson enters a championship match and has to square off against his old nemesis. The Caddyshack star apparently took the role on a whim. The Farrelly brothers thought getting him to play the supporting role was a long shot, but Quaid had worked with him on Quick Change and offered to reach out. Sure enough, Murray arrived on set 3 weeks later, hilariously improvised all his lines, and had viewers howling with laughter over McCracken's bad comb-over. Henry Winkler in Scream. Although primarily known for television work, Henry Winkler has always dabbled in film too. Wes Craven's original Scream found him in horror movie territory, a place no one ever expected to find him. Winkler plays Principal Henry, who gets sliced up in his office by the masked slayer known as Ghostface. Aside from the shock of seeing the Fonz in a slasher flick, the actor's appearance took audiences by storm because it isn't simply the corny pop culture cameo it initially seems to be. Winkler isn't there to pass the baton to a new generation of teen stars. He's there to become one of Ghostface's first marks. Henry's bloody demise packs a wallop because no one in their right mind anticipates seeing Henry Winkler in a part like that. The moment has subsequently gone on to become one of the most iconic kills in the entire Scream franchise. Winkler agreed to forego an on-screen credit when the producers wanted to focus on the younger cast members instead. Edward Norton in Kingdom of Heaven. Norton is a class-apart actor and has managed to give us timeless classics. He did the same thing in Kingdom of Heaven, where he decided it was best to keep his name a secret. He explained that he wants to be billed because Orlando Bloom's character keeps hearing about him. A movie you should definitely watch and adore Norton's acting. His reason was that keeping his role secret would add an important element of mystery to the story. He explained, "I didn't want to be billed because Orlando Bloom's character keeps hearing about him. There's this anticipation, this big mystery about him. It's the whole point." Norton's instincts were correct. Knowing the actor played King Baldwin in advance would have cued people in on what to expect. Without that knowledge, we're left wondering what this much talked about figure will be like when he finally see, and, crucially, hear, the mysterious monarch. Michael Pena in Ant-Man.
And he goes up to the bartender and goes, "Look at the girl I'm with. You know what I'm saying? She's crazy, stupid, fine, right?" And the bartender's all like, "Yeah, crazy, stupid, fine."
Pena delivers a scene-stealing performance playing Ant-Man's sidekick who has a knack for telling drawn-out stories and having a positive attitude on just about anything. That last trait helped the Luis character evolve from just a character that would take up space for a few scenes to becoming one of its most memorable in the movie. "I don't think my part was even that big in the beginning," Pena said. "I just wanted to be in a Marvel movie. But then a couple of scenes happened, and then suddenly, I was put in a couple of more, and the role expanded. I'm really grateful." But what really makes his performance stand out is the happy-go-lucky personality Pena gave Luis, which was inspired by a friend he knew back in Chicago named Pablo. "He has this attitude, which I always found funny," said Pena. "He could be complaining about the worst things ever and he's always got a smile on his face." Pena believes it's the personality he gave Luis, inspired by his buddy, that caused the role to evolve into being Ant-Man's most trusted ally. His presence is sorely missed in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumanium, which could be one reason the film underperformed. Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder.
Hit that director in the face. Really f***ing hard.
Sorry, man.
Ow, ow, ow.
The movie already had a strong cast, and then the director thought of bringing Cruise to the party. Actors like Robert Downey Jr., Ben Stiller, Jack Black, and Matthew McConaughey were doing their part until Tom Cruise nailed it with his character. Quite frankly, the actor was in need of a public image makeover at the time. He'd received tons of negative press for infamously jumping on Oprah Winfrey's couch, making controversial Scientology claims, including one that criticized Brooke Shields for taking psychiatric medication to treat postpartum depression, and getting dropped by Paramount, the studio where he had a production deal. Trumpeting his appearance in the film might have turned some audiences off, so his comeback role was left as a surprise. As it was, recognizing him under the makeup and padded suit proved difficult. So many ticket buyers didn't realize it was him until his name popped up in the end credits. Regardless, Cruise, as Grossman, stole every scene he was in. That was our show for today. Did you agree with our list? Is there another example you can think of where an actor stole the movie from its star? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to check out my Carl Vincent Vampire Hunter franchise, also below, and, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Until next time, this is Andrew in for Kevin Given saying live long and prosper. May the force be with you and keep reaching for the stars.